Welcome to Larry's Library. Back in the unboxing room. Got a couple new treasures to show off. This one is a weird one. Cousin Elmo sent me this in the mail, so I got 3 boxes of this. And I'll show some stills of it so you'll get a better view, and I'll show what the soap looks like outside the package. But this is by a company called Squatch, and it's Adamantium Scrub. Men's natural soap. And it really smells good. But yeah, it says Resurrection Plant Extract Heavy Grit Adamantium Scrub. Never knew that existed, did you? I didn't. But... And now we got the big boy. This is something I've been wanting forever, but it retailed MSRP of $200 was too rich for even my blood. And I spent some money on the books, as you know if you've watched the channel. But I tried to collect the Silver Surfer from, wow, since I was a little kid I tried to get it. But even way back then, and I'm old, they were too pricey. The individual, Silver Surfer only ran for 18 issues. And all of them were just out of my league to obtain. I did manage to get the last issue once. Sadly, it was in my original collection. I don't have it now, but issue 18 was the only one of the whole series that Jack Kirby drew, and I had that one. Had a kind of a medium grade copy, but that was the only one I had. Now, I read several of these issues in the form of Marvel's reprint book, Fantasy Masterpieces. And if you've ever had any of those, you know that it's square bound, and that old square bound comic book binding was horrible. It was hard to keep that stuff in good shape. And it had gutter loss like an early trade paperback. It was like the worst of both worlds. So that was not a great way to read Stan Lee's masterpiece. What many people say is his best writing ever, of everything he did, was this. The Silver Surfer, the series from let's see, it says it on here, 69 through 70. And this huge volume is by Taschen. I don't know if it's Taschen or Taschen, but I went on their YouTube channel to try to find out, and there was a little voiceover from an editor that works for Taschen, and she called it Taschen. But I've heard others say Taschen, so I don't know. We can argue about that in the comments if you want, if you have a preference, Taschen or Taschen. But anyway, they had a flash sale not too long ago. Hopefully anyone who wanted it got in on that. It's probably over now, I'm not sure. Not sure when it ends. But this thing was 50% off, so this was $100 shipped. I mean, look at the box it comes in. How cool is that? And it's all shrink wrapped. So you've got the 2 different covers, issue 1 and what is that? 18, the last one. The one I had, the only one that Kirby did. So we're going to unbox this. Very carefully, we're going to unbox this. If I can figure out how my knife works. And no, I didn't do that with my knife. That happened to work. That was a vicious cardboard cut. Maybe we'll get it open. I'm going to keep this box. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because I'm certainly never going to sell this book. But the box is just too cool not to keep it. I don't think I hurt nothing that time. Check that out. Look at that. Is that the best shipping box you've ever seen? Certainly is me. Look at this thing. The box itself is awesome. How do you open it? There we go. Check that out. And then inside, it just form fits to this box, so it can't move around, and then it's shrink wrapped inside. Look at this beauty. I'm not throwing this box either. I'm going to carefully move this box. Okay, so yeah. So this is the entire series from 1 to 18, the whole thing. Plus some extras. We'll take a look at that and see what those are. I know Taylor Talks Comics did an overview of this one too. And it was actually on his live stream that I found out about the flash sale, I believe. Check that out. Look at this guy. And the cover is a kind of a matte fabric. It's really nice. And it has a ribbon. Now I'm going to flip this upside down for me. It'll be right side up for you, because I'm going to show some of this interior, but I'm going to stretch the spine first, and it's going to take a while. So I'm going to speed this back. In post, I'll speed this up so you don't have to, you can see me do it at, quadruple speed, so you don't have to sit through all this. But look at the purple end pages. That's wild. So I'm going to take a few from each side, flatten them out. How am I in the shot here? Not very good. Is that better? Okay. Interesting. The spine on this is really nice. I'm not sure it even needs this stretching. It doesn't feel tight at all, like a typical Marvel omnibus. Yeah, I'm going to have it upside down for me because I have never got to read this entire thing. Like I said, I've read a smattering in Fantasy Masterpieces, and I had issue 18. So I've read a few. Okay, and now I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to speed this part up in post so you don't have to sit through this in real time, because it's probably going to take, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes to go through these. So I'll stop talking now. Okay, so I think in my opinion, it's worth it to stretch your bindings, to stretch your book before you read it. And really, I try to do it even before I shelve it, even if it might be, months or years before I get to read a particular book. I try to do this. I try to open all my books when I get them, or within a few days of when I get them, and go ahead and stretch the spine. Because even if the spine is of sufficient quality where maybe it doesn't need to be stretched, because this one seems very relaxed, and the eye, I don't know if you can see it in the shot, it's very prominent. It's a great binding. So even if it maybe doesn't need to be stretched, you're going to accomplish a couple things here. You're going to find out by flipping through it like I just did. You're going to find out if your book is damaged in any way. And it's better to know that early than later, because if you wait too long, you're not going to be able to return it and get a better copy. It might be sold out, or you may just be beyond the retail window when you can do that. So I think this is an important step. So one thing I've noticed here is the paper quality is awesome. I mean, look at that. This is, well, it's like extra thick comic book paper. It's pulpy. It's not glossy, which I prefer that look, because this is like a scaled up version of the comic book, of the original books. If you notice, I don't know how good you can see it again. I can't see my display here, but the cover is cardstock. Is thicker and glossy, just like a comic book cover is. And even the back cover of the previous issue is done the same way. So you have the entire experience of reading an actual comic, but scaled up in this beautiful, beautiful printed large format here. And it even includes the original ads and the letters pages. It's all there. To me, this is the best way to read classic material. The only problem is these books are generally very expensive, so, this is the first one I've ever owned, actually, from this publisher. Check it out. Check out the ribbon. And the ribbon is appropriately colored silver. Silver. I just friggin' love this. This might be my favorite book of my whole collection. If not, it's very close. I love this edition, and I love this series. So happy to finally have it all. Oh man, hit my mic. Hopefully that doesn't make an awful sound in the recording, but look at that. Love it. Look at the size of this thing. Oh, love this so much. So I'll be able to read this one not too long. It's not technically violating my FIFO, my first in, first out order, because I am reading my Fantastic Fours now in between the more modern stuff I'm reading. It's a whole thing. If you want to know my method, I can link up my video about my reading habits if you care. If you care to know that. But so I think I will probably insert this in my FF Omni reading run to take place roughly around the same year that the material in the FF that I'm reading is, if that makes sense. So in other words, not too long, I'll be able to read this guy. Look at the spine. Love it. If it's still on sale, I highly recommend you go after this one. So that's all I got this time, and it's enough. I got some adamantium scrub, and I got the Silver Surfer. See you next time.